Hey horror fans, thanks for joining me for this review of The Cursed. Alright, don't want to be cursed. But anyway, cast and crew information down below. And let's start off with this IMDb plot here. In rural 19th century France, a mysterious, possibly supernatural menace threatens a small village. John McBride, a pathologist, comes to the town to investigate the danger and exorcise some of his own demons in the process. Alright, so yeah, we're going to jump back in time a little bit here. Kind of a different setting here. I kind of appreciate sometimes going to a different setting. We kind of see a lot of similar setups for modern day horror, whether it's in the woods or in a house or here and there, familiar stuff. Kind of like every once in a while to kind of go to a different place. It doesn't have to be a make-believe place, but going back in time sometimes helps. And that's kind of what this one does. And to kind of set things up, I guess, well, first, this is a newer film. I kind of passed on seeing it right when it came out, but then I just kind of stumbled upon it again. It was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. I was kind of worried. It had a pretty cool poster. But not worried. I don't know. I was just kind of like, I'm not sure, you know, if this is going to be worth it for me to watch or not. But I kind of stumbled upon it again and was like, okay, I'll see what happens here, and we'll see what I think by the end of this one. But kind of jumping to this plot here, you have. You know, I don't know, I think they were gypsies or kind of something kind of close to that. And they're apparently kind of infringing on some land that some richer, more powerful people don't want them there anymore. So, you know, I don't remember if it was warnings or whatever, but whatever, these people just didn't want to go. So, this group of people comes and basically forces them off the land, but not in a very nice way. They do it in a not nice way, and killing many of them, and making an example of them, and so forth. And being that they're, I don't know, gypsies or worshipping something or another here, of course, they kind of put a curse on them as they're about to die. And they kind of set up this scarecrow of one of the people there, and then that kind of leads the way to bad things happening soon enough. So, while most of these people are dead and gone, you know, the curse is left behind. So, leave it amongst the young people here, the kids, to kind of wander out into this field where this happened, and maybe kind of shouldn't have kind of get this curse kind of cooking and going, and kind of awake this, and I'm not going to paint this as the scarecrow comes to life and starts killing people. It's not that kind of movie, but this, where this scarecrow kind of thing is kind of sets the stage for everything, and then there's something buried in the ground that underneath it, that they bury along with it, and that kind of helps out here. And let's say, so the kids stumble upon it, and that kind of activates it, and one kid gets bitten, and then I don't know if bitten is the right word. Let's just say kind of takes on the curse or something like. I don't want to completely spoil this. But yeah, it's going to be. It's almost like going to be a vampire, not a vampire, a werewolf kind of thing here, but not really. You kind of get that vibe, but not. They don't totally go down that road. Or if it is a werewolf at the end of the day, it might not be in your total traditional stance here. I guess that's the worst way to kind of explain what's going on here. But the first kid is going to change, then somebody else goes out in the field, and they kind of get involved with it. and before you know it, there's a couple of these cursed supernatural presence, werewolf kind of things, whatever the hell you want to call it, going on here. And of course, you know, the adults are not sure what's going on. Some of them don't believe something's going on. And then obviously this progresses, and then yeah, there is something going on here. So of course this pathologist, the guy, has to kind of come to the forefront and kind of solve, you know, this situation here and what's going on. But he obviously has some issues of his own to deal with, and that's kind of going to interfere with his thinking here at the end of the day, and kind of play a role in what's going on here. I will say, I think the main reason to kind of bring this review to you is not to kind of rehash all the plot, and I don't want to kind of give too much more away as far as what's going to happen here. You know, I guess you're kind of giving away this supernatural slash werewolf thing or whatever is in its own enough, but I think it does. What I enjoyed the most from it is there's a couple of scenes where this thing is obviously involved and does some killing. I think they're not afraid to show some blood, which was good. I think you know, this mystery item that's in the box, I don't want to give that away. I thought that was an interesting item, and I liked that, and it on its own was pretty intimidating or creepy or whatever you want to call it. But I liked that, and I liked the use of that. And at least one of the circumstances, again, I'm being vague, I don't want to give away certain things, but I liked that in one or two scenes, at least, how, I guess, when the people kind of stumbled upon that, and then that got kind of used in the fact there. But yeah, there's another scene, again, trying to be as vague as possible, but you kind of see, I don't know how you want to say it. Like I said, it's not totally the traditional, even though, you know, it's gonna have some similarities to being a werewolf movie, but it's not completely the same. But I guess there's gonna be a couple of times where you're kind of seeing, you know, the creature side and the human side, and kind of see that kind of evolve in a way. And I think that those scenes are pretty interesting, and they definitely stand out, and I like that. And I think that is, if you're kind of like special effects, I think those are kind of some scenes to see, whether you kind of dive into this whole plot and what is going on or not. I think the creature scenes, especially as it goes on later in the film, and if I remember right, this was decently long, or felt long, I don't know. Yeah, it's almost a 2-hour movie, so yeah, there's a lot going on here, a lot to unpack, and you know, you might be not as involved the entire time, but I think kind of later on, when they kind of unleash it and you get to see more of this creature thing, I think the more interesting it will be for you guys, and especially if you like the special effects. I thought they did a decent job, and I at least enjoyed it. You know, as you kind of hum along there and have to go through, you know, some of the setup, and like I said, it does kind of dive into the past of this guy and, you know, his issues, so you kind of have to sit through some of that. But once you get kind of into those scenes more with the creature, it's good. It has an exciting end, build up there, and so forth, and maybe a little bit of twist. I don't know if you want to call it a big twist or not, but you know, maybe one or two people you thought may have lived and or survived in the end, maybe they didn't, and then kind of how it kind of comes to the conclusion, and what's going to go on with this creature and so forth. So, you know, I guess, you know, to sum it up, I guess, you know, the creature parts of it are the best parts, and I guess that's what you would expect, and that's what you want to see. But it says here an hour and 51 minutes, so it's almost 2 hours. So it is a lot to sit through and so forth. So yeah, you know, might not be glued to it the entire time unless you really find a liking into these characters or not. I don't know. But definitely I liked some of the creature parts, and you know, that's just me. And I guess, you know, I'm going to give them credit for the creature parts of it, and kind of that angle, and kind of setting up the mystery of it, and the scarecrow in the field was kind of creepy in what they did there. So it did have some good parts. I don't necessarily know that they try to jump scare you that much, and it maybe a little bit with kind of some of the sort of dream sequences and so forth, and maybe flashbacks if you want to call them. But yeah, so with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it 3 pools of blood. I guess, you know, like I said, it was a long movie, and not everything is, you know, unless you really, really, really dive into the story and dive into the characters, you might not find it completely interesting the entire time. But I think that the true horror moments of it, especially later on, and once you really get to see the creature here, I think you can at least enjoy that. So, you know, I don't know if that's worth your time at the end of the day, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's 3 pools of blood out of 5 for The Cursed. And with that, Horror Square Reviews is where you can find more of my reviews, written ones, video ones. But if you're just interested in the video ones, you can subscribe to the channel. The Twitter, Facebook down below as well. If you want to talk horror, talk about this movie, other movies, you can do that down there as well. And of course in the comment section, same thing. We can talk about this movie, other movies. If you have something you want me to review, feel free to do it there as well. So I'm not cursed. I'm not turning into any creatures, even though I may look like it. But we'll end that and move on to the next review. Horror fans, catch you later.